Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to go back to celebrations. We need to have a look at what is going on with celebrations, and I am here with wonderful, wonderful, wonderful news. And that is that the price of celebrations cards is just crashing to kind of borderline hilarious levels. And I know it's not perfect in every regard, but I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in celebrations, I've got very good news for you. Now, if we start off with the main celebration set, there wasn't much in the main celebration set, so we don't need to go into a huge amount of detail going through every card. And actually, to be fair, there was only 25 cards in the main set and only 25 cards in the special set. But the big card for celebrations was Mew. That was the big one. Within the past year, and over on TCG Play, that's what we're using, we can only really look at the past year. Within the past year, that Mew has fallen to a $40 card. It has gone up a little bit in the past couple of months, but you can see a proper downwards trend there. And like we always see, we need to look at the last few sold. You'll notice one of the last few sold is actually $34, and that is for a near mint version. So it's not just the fact that it's, sitting there at a nice low value. It's also the fact that it is actually falling as we speak, which is kind of wonderful. And this was the big card, right? In the main celebration set, this was the big card that everyone was desperately after. This was the one that was, ruining people's collections. And actually, and I don't have the person's name on me, and I'm so sorry for that. But at the World Championships in London this past year, I was approached by somebody who wanted to say hello, who had brought a gold Mew from their friend, knowing that their friend knew it was the only card I needed from my Celebrations collection. And that was a super lovely thing for them to do. So thank you very much to that lovely person. Outside of the Mew, the main set is just kind of hilarious, honestly, nowadays. I mean, genuinely, after the Mew, the next most valuable card in the main set of celebrations is Flying Pikachu V Max. The reason, incidentally, it's Flying Pikachu V Max is because that is a very playable card right now. What that means is that, yes, at the moment, it is the most expensive card, and I say that very much tongue-in-cheek. It's not going to last, because when this becomes not a playable card, it's going to start falling down. It's got a market price of $2.50. Surfing Pikachu, which is the other VMAX in the main set, which is not a very playable card, is $1.70. Regular Flying Pikachu, as in the V, you're talking $1.15, and then regular Surfing Pikachu is actually down less than $1. Zacian V, which is an interesting Pokemon V, which has seen a fair bit of play in the past, is less than $1. And that lovely Full Art Professor's Research that I pulled 3 play sets of when I was opening this set is at $1.12. So when I tell you that the only card worth, really anything in the main set is Mew, I mean that very literally and very sincerely. At this stage, you can go and buy Celebrations products if you like, but in terms of singles, just go and buy the singles. At least in terms of the main set. What have we got in terms of the classic collection? Well, we got a lot of cheapness, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of cheapness. I mean, if we go and have a look at the Charizard, this is the one that we always assumed was going to keep its value. And it is worth noting this has stayed around a $70 card. And to be fair, that did drop to as low as $60 in September of last year. It's gone back up to about $70. It's still down from the $80 it was a year ago, but it is worth pointing out that this is a card that has... It is creeping up a little bit. The last few sold are basically 71, 70, and 70. So yeah, it's about a $70 card. And this is a card that is worth something. But you see, when I take these screenshots of TCG Player and eBay and places like that, and I am using TCG Player a lot today, shout out to them for being awesome, I keep them on my computer just in case. And here's an image I've got from back in October 2021 as Celebrations was launching, and it's like a $250 card. So okay, fine, in the past couple of months it might have crept back up to a $70 card. That is still an absolute ridiculous bargain compared to the $250 it was on release. As a side note, I get a lot of people asking, when do we buy these cards? In terms of Celebrations, I think now might be a good time to buy these cards, because most of them can't really fall that much lower. And honestly, we are going to get to a stage at some point where Celebrations is going to be like impossible to find, and then the prices might actually start going up to a decent level. When that happens, you're going to wish you'd picked them up a little bit earlier. So the other one that was always worth a little bit from the Classic Collection was Umbreon, but as you can see, it's now a $20 card. Bearing in mind, this is the clear number 2 from the Classic Collection, which is the fancy bit of Celebrations. And if we look at that graph, it's just a pure downwards trend. Yes, I know that back in September it was an $18 card and now it's a $20 card. But if you do that mathsy thing where you draw a line to trace the general shape of the graph, it's a straight line, you'll see it is very much a downwards trend. Even the Umbreon really isn't attracting much value at all here, and that was always the other one. And then from there, it honestly starts crashing pretty gosh darn quickly. We've got the Magikarp, but again, we can see here that it's a $13 card, and honestly, like 2 of the last 3 souls are under $13. And again, looking at the past year on TCG Player, this is very much a clear downwards trend. This isn't a card that's fluctuating up and down. It's not started to creep back up like the Charizard. This is very much a card which is just going down. Like I say, it is going to reverse at some point. We're not there yet. Now is a great time to buy. Mega Rayquaza EX is another one that, holds a little bit of value, or at least has, is a $10 card. And like TCG Player has got the market price as $11, but the last 3 solds are 10 and 9 and 10. Although the 10 was a lightly played, so maybe take that one out. But it's still 10 and 9, the last 2 sales. So let's be clear, this is still like a $10 card at the most. And again, we're talking about the top end here. Like Mega Rayquaza is the number 4 card in the set. None of the others are getting anywhere. And honestly, right, the lowest one on the list, the last one we've got according to TCG Player, is Imposter Professor Oak, which has a market price of 26 cents. That is essentially worth nothing. Like, the person is basically shipping it to you at cost at this stage. And if you buy one of these, thank the person. Because, oh my goodness, that is ridiculous. I mean, if we take a screenshot of, the low 12, not including Professor Oak, we've got Zekrom at $3.40 down to Here Comes Team Rocket at 28 cents. When I say these cards are not holding their value, I mean very literally, these cards are becoming worth like pennies. There are a few at the higher end that are holding a tiny bit of value. Honestly, it's mostly Charizard, and then when you get past that, it's getting a little bit silly. I mean, I've showed you the lower 12, might as well show you the higher 12 again, not including Imposter Professor Oak, and you'll see there that you've got those 4 at the top which are showing a little bit of value. But again, when I say little bit outside of Charizard, it really is a little bit. But then, Mewtwo's a $7 card, Blastoise is a $6 card, Venusaur's a $4 card, Mew's a $4 card. These are popular Pokemon that we expect to attract and hold a little bit of value. And the fact of the matter is, when it came to Celebrations, the Pokemon Company understood the assignment. And the assignment was, print this into the ground, make these cards super duper crazy cheap, and make it so that people are buying Celebrations to celebrate the Pokemon TCG, rather than just hoarding these cards. And it worked. When the absolute pinnacle of a set is a $70 Charizard and a $40 Mew, I think that basically tells you everything you need to know about this set. It is not a set of a whole bunch of ridiculous singles. It is a set where, honestly, like, I'm missing a few of the classic collection, but I'm not missing the top 4, which means that at some point, and I'm actually going to do this soon before I lose my chance, I'm just going to go and spend like a tenner on the half a dozen cards I'm missing. It really is fantastic and hilarious. Also, as a side note, little tip from your old pal Wassy, like, I'm a huge Don fan. I love Don Fan. My literal favourite card ever. This is a card that can currently be picked up for $1. So one of the things that I am going to do in the next few weeks is I'm going to pick up a bunch of Don Fan. And I'm just going to have a binder with a whole bunch of Don Fan. And I've got my Japanese Don Fan. I've got a couple, actually, and that's rather lovely. But what I'm going to do here, nice and simply, is just get a bunch of Don Fan and whack them in a binder. Not to sell them. Not trying to plan for the future. Just because I love this card. And at some point, these prices are going to start creeping up. And I'd like to have a binder of Don Fan before that happens. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know what your favourite cards and celebrations are. I want to know anything you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy. That's where we talk Pokemon and a bunch of other card games and Pokemon stuff. It's lots of fun over there. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel. You can get some bonus podcasts where I answer all of your questions. You can join a Discord and chat with us. It doesn't have to be about Pokemon. It can be about anything. And you can get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Mike, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to Mike for the support and for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.